Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Natasha, your host for today. If you're new here, I want to tell you that we upload powerful English learning lessons every single day to help you improve your English faster and more confidently. In today's episode, you are going to take a big step forward in your English journey. This lesson will help you improve your English listening skills, your English speaking skills, and even your advanced vocabulary for real-life situations. Today, we are diving deep into an intermediate to upper intermediate English masterclass with real-life conversations, daily situations, natural English patterns, and advanced vocabulary that you can use immediately in your everyday life. You will learn how to talk more clearly, how to understand native English faster, and how to use essential advanced English phrases confidently in daily life. Throughout this lesson, you will listen, repeat, shadow, practice, and absorb English in a very natural way. And by the end, you will feel more fluent, more comfortable, and much more confident when speaking English. Before we start the lesson, make sure to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon if you want more helpful English learning episodes like this. So, take a deep breath, relax, and let's get started. When you begin learning English at the intermediate level, something interesting happens. You start to notice that English is no longer only about basic sentences or simple vocabulary. It becomes more about expressing yourself clearly, understanding people in real conversations, and connecting ideas in a natural way. In today's lesson, I want you to feel that natural flow of English. I want you to experience the rhythm, the tone, the feeling of real communication. And I want you to slowly build the confidence to speak without overthinking every sentence you say. So let's begin together in a calm, steady, relaxed way. Imagine you are waking up in the morning. You hear your alarm, you stretch, you sit up, and you look around your room. Your mind is still waking up, but you know you will need English today, especially if you live, study, or work in a place where English appears everywhere. Now imagine that English could feel as natural as breathing, that every word you say comes softly, without pressure. That is our goal in this masterclass. And step by step, we will move closer to that level of comfort. One of the first things I want you to remember is that English fluency is not about speaking fast. It is about speaking clearly. It's about understanding the message, not the speed. When you listen to native speakers, they often speak quickly, but their speed doesn't matter as much as the patterns and phrases they use. Today, you will learn many of those natural patterns, and I want you to repeat them with me, slowly, calmly, confidently. Let's start with something you do every day. Greetings. In real conversations, greetings aren't only about saying hello or good morning. They're about creating a little connection, a small bridge between you and another person. Imagine you walk into your office or classroom. Someone says, "Hey, good morning. How's everything going?" Notice how relaxed this sounds, more natural. And as an intermediate or upper intermediate learner, this is the type of English you want to understand and use. Repeat this slowly after me. "Hey, good morning. How's everything going?" Now imagine you want to answer naturally. Instead of saying, "I am fine," you can say, "Pretty good. Thanks for asking. How about you?" Shadow it with me. "Pretty good. Thanks for asking. How about you?" These little phrases make a huge difference because they help you sound more fluent, more natural, more confident in daily conversations. Let's expand this into a real-life situation. Imagine you're at work or at school, and someone asks you about your weekend. They might say, "So, how was your weekend? Did you do anything fun?" Now, how can you answer in a natural, advanced way? Instead of saying, "I stayed at home," which is correct but basic, you can say, "It was pretty relaxing actually. I spent most of the time at home, just catching up on rest and doing a bit of reading." Try repeating that slowly with me. It was pretty relaxing actually. I spent most of the time at home, just catching up on rest and doing a bit of reading. Let's practice another variation. Imagine you had a busy weekend. You can say, "It was quite busy. I had a lot of things to take care of, but overall, it was productive." Repeat this with me. It was quite busy. I had a lot of things to take care of, but overall, it was productive. Notice the phrases, take care of, productive, overall. These intermediate connectors help you sound more fluent. Now, let's move toward listening practice. I want you to imagine two people talking near you, maybe in a cafe, maybe at work, maybe on the phone, and your job is to listen, understand, and feel the natural rhythm. I'll say a short dialogue slowly, then repeat it naturally. Dialogue version 1, slow. "Hey, are you free later today? I was thinking maybe we could review that project together." Later today might be a bit difficult, but I'm free tomorrow morning if that works for you. Tomorrow morning works perfectly. Let's meet around 10 then. Sounds great. See you then. Now the natural version. "Hey, are you free later today? I was thinking maybe we could review that project together." Later today might be a bit difficult, but I'm free tomorrow morning if that works for you. Tomorrow morning works perfectly. Let's meet around 10 then. Sounds great. See you then. Now shadow it slowly with me. Imagine you're speaking in a real situation. "Hey, are you free later today? I was thinking maybe we could review that project together." Well, later today might be a bit difficult, but I'm free tomorrow morning if that works for you. Tomorrow morning works perfectly. Let's meet around 10 then. Sounds great. See you then. This kind of practice helps your brain absorb English naturally. It helps you understand how sentences connect, and it helps you feel the rhythm of daily conversations. Now let's go deeper into daily life situations. Imagine you walk into a cafe. You want to order something, but you want to sound polite, natural. Instead of saying, "Give me a coffee," you can say, "Hi, could I get a medium latte, please?" Or, "Hi, I'd like a cappuccino, please." These soft expressions show politeness and natural fluency. Now let's create a cafe conversation you can shadow with me. "Hi there. Could I get a medium latte, please?" "Sure. Would you like it hot or iced?" "Hot, please. And could you make it with oat milk?" "Of course. Anything else for you?" "No, that's all for now. Thank you." "You're welcome. Your drink will be ready shortly." Now shadow it. Slowly, then slightly faster. Feel the flow, feel the movement. This type of practice makes English feel familiar, friendly, easy. Now let's expand into vocabulary development. One big challenge for intermediate learners is using advanced vocabulary in daily life without sounding too formal. So let's learn some natural intermediate expressions. Instead of saying, I don't understand, say, I'm not quite following. Could you explain that again? Instead of saying, I'm busy, say, I'm tied up with something at the moment. Can we talk later? Instead of saying, I forgot, say, it slipped my mind. I'll take care of it now. Instead of saying, I'm not sure, say, I'm not completely certain, but I think. Now let's use these in a real situation. Imagine someone at work asks you, Hey, did you send the email to the client? You can say, Oh, it slipped my mind. I'll take care of it right now. Or, I'm not completely certain, but I think Sarah already sent it earlier today. Or, I'm not quite following. Which email are you referring to? Shadow these slowly, then naturally. They will help you sound calm, confident, fluent. Let's continue with another daily life interaction. Imagine a friend asks you, How was your day? Did everything go well? You answer, It was a bit hectic. I had a lot of things to handle, but everything worked out in the end. Practice this slowly. It was a bit hectic. I had a lot of things to handle, but everything worked out in the end. Hectic, handle, worked out. These expressions make your English sound stronger and more natural. Now let's go deeper into listening comprehension. Imagine overhearing a conversation on a bus or train. Slow version. Did you watch that new series last night? I heard it's really good. Yeah, I watched the first episode. It was surprisingly interesting. Really? I thought it would be boring. No, not at all. The storyline is actually very engaging. Natural version. Did you watch that new series last night? I heard it's really good. Yeah, I watched the first episode. It was surprisingly interesting. Really? I thought it would be boring. No, not at all. The storyline is actually very engaging. Now shadow it slowly. Feel the structure. Feel the rhythm. This kind of repetition helps you understand real conversations much more easily. This is your first step in our long masterclass. We will explore more daily life examples, more advanced vocabulary, more natural conversations, and as we continue, your confidence will grow with every paragraph. Let's keep building your fluency together. As we continue this masterclass, I want you to remember something very important. Improving your English is not only about learning more vocabulary, it's about learning how to use words naturally in your daily life. That's why everything we are practicing today is connected to real conversations, real situations, and the type of English that people actually use around you. And the more you hear it, repeat it, and shadow it, the more natural it will feel inside your mind. Now imagine that your day continues. You have left your home, and you are walking to work, school, or maybe a cafe where you want to sit and study. You hear people talking around you, a group of friends chatting, two colleagues walking together, someone talking on the phone. Your goal is to slowly begin understanding small pieces of these conversations, not every single word, but the ideas, the tone, the emotions, the rhythm. English is full of patterns, and we will learn many of them today. Let's start with something very common, talking about plans. In daily life, people talk about their plans all the time. They talk about what they're doing later, tomorrow, next week, or even what they might do if they have time. So let's practice this in a natural paragraph. Imagine your friend asks you, "Do you have any plans for later today?" Now, instead of answering with a short reply like "no plans," you can give a more natural response, something like, "I'm thinking of going out for a walk after work, just to clear my head a little," or "I might meet up with a friend for dinner, but I'm not completely sure yet." Notice the soft and natural expressions. I'm thinking of, I might, I'm not completely sure. These are intermediate level patterns that show fluency and confidence. Let's practice shadowing these sentences slowly. I'm thinking of going out for a walk after work, just to clear my head a little. Now try the second one. I might meet up with a friend for dinner, but I'm not completely sure yet. Feel the rhythm. Feel how these sentences sound more natural and less robotic. Now let's imagine a longer, more detailed conversation, something you might hear between two coworkers. Listen slowly first. Hey, do you have any plans for the weekend? Nothing solid yet. I might go hiking if the weather is good. What about you? I'm going to visit my parents. It's been a while, so I'm really looking forward to it. That sounds nice. I hope you have a great time. Now listen again at a more natural speed. Hey, do you have any plans for the weekend? Nothing solid yet. I might go hiking if the weather is good. What about you? I'm going to visit my parents. It's been a while, so I'm really looking forward to it. That sounds nice. I hope you have a great time. Now shadow the entire conversation slowly with me, and imagine you are part of it. Imagine you are using these expressions naturally in your daily life. From here, let's move into another important area, describing your feelings and experiences. At the intermediate level, it's important to express not only what you are doing, but also how something made you feel, or what you think about it. It helps you create deeper conversations and shows that you can connect ideas naturally. For example, imagine someone asks you about a movie you watched. Instead of saying, "It was good," you can use richer expressions like, "It was surprisingly good, much better than I expected," or, "The story was really engaging. I couldn't stop watching," or, "It felt a bit slow in the beginning, but it got better later on." These expressions help you sound more advanced and more natural. Now repeat these sentences slowly with me. It was surprisingly good, much better than I expected. The story was really engaging. I couldn't stop watching. It felt a bit slow in the beginning, but it got better later on. Let's practice a short real-life dialogue using these expressions. Slow version. Did you like the movie? Yeah, it was much better than I expected. The story was really engaging. I'm glad you liked it. I've been thinking about watching it. You should. It's definitely worth it. Now natural speed. Did you like the movie? Yeah, it was much better than I expected. The story was really engaging. I'm glad you liked it. I've been thinking about watching it. You should. It's definitely worth it. Now shadow it slowly, and imagine you're using this kind of English effortlessly. Now let's practice describing your day, because this is one of the most important skills for intermediate learners. Instead of saying, "My day was good," try something like, "My day was pretty productive. I managed to finish most of the tasks I had planned." Or, "It was a bit stressful in the morning, but things got better in the afternoon." Or, "It was a long day. I'm tired, but I feel satisfied with what I got done. Repeat these slowly after me. My day was pretty productive. I managed to finish most of the tasks I had planned. It was a bit stressful in the morning, but things got better in the afternoon. It was a long day. I'm tired, but I feel satisfied with what I got done. Now imagine someone asks you about your day, and you answer with one of these natural responses. Shadow the entire paragraph with me. My day was pretty productive. I managed to finish most of the tasks I had planned. It was a bit stressful in the morning, but things got better in the afternoon. Now I feel a bit tired, but satisfied with what I got done. Let's move into another daily life situation. Giving your opinion? At the intermediate and upper intermediate level, you need to express your opinion naturally, not too direct, not too simple, not too complicated. Here are some common ways you can express your opinion. I personally think, in my opinion, from my point of view. If you ask me, I'd say that, but instead of repeating them as a list, I'll place them inside a natural paragraph so you can shadow it like real speech. Imagine you and a friend are talking about learning English. You say, if you ask me, the best way to improve your English is by practicing daily conversations. In my opinion, reading and listening are important, but speaking is what actually builds confidence. I personally think that even talking to yourself in English can make a huge difference. Now shadow that slowly with me. Imagine you're expressing your real thoughts using natural English. Now let's continue with listening practice. Imagine overhearing a conversation in a small shop. The cashier says something, and the customer responds. Let's practice this slow version first. Hi, did you find everything you were looking for? Yes, thank you, but I couldn't find the notebook section. Oh, the notebooks are on the second aisle to your left. Oh, perfect. I'll grab one. Thanks for the help. No problem at all. Now, natural speed. Hi, did you find everything you were looking for? Yes, thank you, but I couldn't find the notebook section. Oh, the notebooks are on the second aisle to your left. Perfect, I'll grab one. Thanks for the help. No problem at all. Now shadow the full conversation slowly. Feel the natural rhythm of customer service English. These small interactions happen everywhere. Shops, offices, airports, cafes. And being able to understand and respond naturally makes your English life much easier. Now, I want to take you into a different daily situation, asking for help. Many learners feel nervous asking for help in English, but you can do it naturally with soft expressions. Here is a sample paragraph you can practice. Excuse me, could you help me with something? Sorry to bother you, but I'm trying to find the right bus stop. Would you mind explaining how this form works? I'm having a bit of trouble understanding this. Could you guide me? Now shadow it slowly. These expressions are polite, natural, and extremely useful in daily life. Let's practice a short, real conversation. Slow version. Excuse me, could you help me? I'm trying to find the train to downtown. Sure, you need platform number 3. It's right over there. Oh, great. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Have a safe trip. Natural speed. Excuse me, could you help me? I'm trying to find the train to downtown. Sure, you need platform number 3. It's right over there. Great, thank you so much. You're welcome. Have a safe trip. Shadow it slowly. Imagine the situation. Imagine speaking confidently and naturally. Now let's go deeper into advanced vocabulary used in real conversations. These words are not too formal and not too academic. They are perfect for intermediate daily English. I will place them inside a natural paragraph so you can understand and shadow them. I've been trying to be more consistent with my English lately, and honestly, it's been quite rewarding. I've noticed that when I practice a little every day, everything feels more familiar and less overwhelming. Even listening to a short podcast in the morning or reviewing a few phrases at night makes a big difference. It's really about building small habits and staying motivated. Now shadow this entire paragraph slowly with me. Notice the natural words: consistent, rewarding, familiar, overwhelming, building small habits. These are intermediate and upper intermediate vocabulary that make your daily conversations richer. Now let's take another daily life example, talking about a problem. Sometimes you need to explain a situation that didn't go well. Let me show you a natural way to do that. Today was a bit frustrating. I was supposed to finish an important task, but the internet kept disconnecting, so I couldn't focus properly. By the time it finally started working again, I had already lost a lot of time, but I'll try to catch up tomorrow. Shadow this slowly. Feel the natural rhythm. This is how real people talk about problems in daily life. And now let's imagine the response. Something like, that sounds annoying. I hate it when the internet causes problems. But don't worry. I'm sure tomorrow will be better. Shadow this slowly too, because responding naturally is just as important as expressing yourself. Now, it's time to explore deeper conversations, advanced expressions, emotional vocabulary, describing situations, and more shadowing practice that will help you feel English instead of forcing it. As your day continues, I want you to imagine that you're now out in the world. Maybe you're walking down a busy street, sitting on a bus, relaxing in a cafe, or even scrolling through your phone at a park bench. Wherever you are, English appears around you in conversations, signs, messages, announcements, and random interactions. And part of becoming an intermediate to upper intermediate learner is learning how to understand English not only when you study, but also when it appears unexpectedly around you. That real-life exposure is powerful, and today we will practice with natural examples that help your brain get comfortable with spontaneous English. Let's start with a situation that happens to almost everyone. Asking about time. You might be in a public place, and someone politely asks you, "Excuse me? Do you have the time?" This is a very common expression, and it simply means, "What time is it?" You can answer naturally by saying, "Yeah, it's about 10:30, or, "Sure, it's 3:15. These small interactions help build your confidence in real life. Now shadow this short exchange slowly. "Excuse me, do you have the time?" "Yeah, it's about 10:30. Simple, but extremely common. Now let's look at a slightly more advanced version. "Excuse me, do you happen to know what time it is?" And your answer, "Yes, it's almost noon." Repeat this slowly with me. "Excuse me, do you happen to know what time it is?" "Yes, it's almost noon." Hear the polite tone. Feel the natural rhythm. Now imagine someone asks you about directions. This is a situation that creates anxiety for many learners, but you can handle it smoothly. For example, "Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to the main station?" And you can answer like this: "Sure, just go straight, take the second right, and you'll see it on your left." Shadow this slowly. Imagine the location in your mind. Visualize the path. Real-life English often includes small connecting words like just, actually, basically, pretty much, kind of, sort of. These appear everywhere in daily conversations. Let's practice them inside a natural paragraph so your brain can absorb them. I'm actually heading in the same direction, so you can follow me if you want. It's basically just a 5-minute walk. The station is kind of hidden behind a big building, but you'll see the sign once you get closer. Now shadow that slowly. I'm actually heading in the same direction. It's basically just a 5-minute walk. Now let's move into talking about your schedule, because this is something people discuss all the time. Imagine someone asks, "Are you free this afternoon?" Instead of responding with yes or no, try something more natural. "I should be free after 4. What's up?" Or, "I'm tied up until 5, but I'll be available after that." These expressions make your English sound relaxed and natural. Now shadow these slowly. "I should be free after 4. What's up?" "I'm tied up until 5, but I'll be available after that." Now imagine a more detailed plan. "I've got a meeting at 3, and then I need to finish a report. But after that, I'm totally free." Repeat it slowly. It helps you express more complex information smoothly. Now let's practice a realistic conversation about plans. Slow version. "Hey, are you free later today?" "I might be. I just need to finish a few things first." "What time do you think you'll be done?" "Probably around 6. "Why?" "I wanted to grab dinner together, if you're up for it." Sounds good. Just text me when you're ready. Natural speed. "Hey, are you free later today?" "I might be. I just need to finish a few things first." "What time do you think you'll be done?" "Probably around 6. Why?" "I wanted to grab dinner together if you're up for it." Sounds good. Just text me when you're ready. Now shadow the full conversation slowly with me. Feel how soft and calm the tone is. People rarely speak in perfect grammar textbooks. They speak with flow, pauses, fillers, and natural rhythm, and you're learning that rhythm now. Now let's move into something deeper, expressing emotions. At the intermediate level, you want to expand beyond simple feelings like happy, sad, or angry. You want to use more expressive and natural vocabulary. Let's practice with a short emotional paragraph. "Today, I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed. There's a lot going on, and I'm trying to stay calm and focused. But at the same time, I'm also excited about some new things I'm working on, so it's a mix of stress and motivation." Now shadow that slowly. Now practice another emotion paragraph. "Lately, I've been feeling more confident with my English. I can follow conversations more easily, and I'm starting to speak without thinking too much. It feels encouraging, and I'm proud of the progress I'm making." Shadow it slowly. Now let's practice responding to someone who shares their feelings. Slow version. "I've been feeling a bit stressed lately." "Oh, really? I'm sorry to hear that. Is everything okay?" "Yeah, it's just work. There's a lot happening." "I get that. Work can be overwhelming sometimes. Just take it easy. Natural speed. I've been feeling a bit stressed lately. Oh, really? I'm sorry to hear that. Is everything okay? Yeah, it's just work. There's a lot happening. I get that. Work can be overwhelming sometimes. Just take it easy. Shadow this slowly, because when you communicate about emotions, you sound more human, and conversations become more meaningful. Now let's move into another important skill, describing things in detail. At the intermediate level, you want to be able to express ideas more richly, clear, natural, and smooth. Let's practice with a daily object, your phone. Instead of saying, "My phone is new," you can say, "I recently got a new phone. It feels much faster, and the camera quality is really impressive." Or instead of saying, "My bag is big," you can say, "My bag is pretty spacious. I can fit my laptop, notebooks, and even a water bottle in it." These descriptions make you sound fluent. Now shadow this paragraph. I recently got a new phone. It feels much faster, and the camera quality is really impressive. I've been taking a lot of pictures lately. Let's practice describing a place next. Imagine you enter a cafe, and someone asks you how it looks. Instead of saying, "It's nice," try something richer. It's a cozy little place with warm lighting and comfortable seating. It feels calm and relaxing, perfect for studying or having a quiet conversation. Shadow that slowly. Now let's practice describing a person, naturally and warmly. She's really easy to talk to, very friendly and calm, and she has a great sense of humor. Being around her always feels comfortable. Shadow this slowly. Now imagine you're at work or school, and someone asks how your week has been. Here's a natural response. It's been a pretty busy week. I've had a lot of tasks to finish, but I'm managing everything step by step. Hopefully things will slow down soon. Shadow it slowly. Now let's practice a more advanced listening exercise, a dialogue between two friends. Slow version. How's your project coming along? It's going pretty well, but it's taking more time than I expected. What part is taking the longest? The research. There's just so much information to go through. Yeah, that can be tough, but I'm sure you'll figure it out. I hope so. I just have to stay focused. Natural speed. How's your project coming along? It's going pretty well, but it's taking more time than I expected. What part is taking the longest? The research. There's just so much information to go through. Yeah, that can be tough, but I'm sure you'll figure it out. I hope so. I just have to stay focused. Now shadow the entire conversation slowly. Imagine yourself in the situation. Imagine answering naturally without hesitation. Let's move into another daily real-life moment. Giving advice. At the intermediate level, giving advice helps you build deeper and more supportive conversations. If I were you, I'd take things one step at a time. There's no need to rush. Sometimes slowing down helps you think more clearly. And if you need help with anything, don't hesitate to ask. Shadow this slowly. Now imagine someone comes to you with a problem. You can respond naturally like this. I understand how you feel. That sounds really difficult, but don't worry too much. Things usually work out in the end. Just keep doing your best. Shadow it slowly. Now, we will practice with deeper dialogues, more advanced expressions, and more real-life interaction practice. As we continue building your English through real-life conversations, I want you to imagine the flow of your day again. You've moved through the morning, interacted with a few people, practiced greeting, describing your feelings, giving opinions, giving directions, planning your schedule. And now the day begins to shift into moments where you need to explain things, clarify misunderstandings, and express your thoughts more clearly. At the intermediate level, this is one of the most important skills because real conversations often require you to explain what you mean, or repeat something, or clarify something to someone who didn't catch your first sentence, and being able to do that smoothly is a sign of confidence and fluency. Let's begin by practicing how to clarify something in a natural and friendly way. For example, imagine someone didn't hear you properly. Instead of repeating the sentence exactly the same way, you can say something like, "Sorry, let me say that again," or "Let me put it another way," or "What I meant was," or "To be more clear." These expressions help you restate your message without sounding robotic. Now imagine someone misunderstood your meaning. You can say, "Oh no, that's not what I meant. I just meant that," or "I think there's been a little misunderstanding. What I was trying to say is." These phrases help you handle misunderstandings smoothly, which is very common in real conversations. Now shadow this paragraph slowly with me. "Sorry, let me say that again. What I meant was," then shadow this one. "I think there's been a little misunderstanding. What I was trying to say is." You don't need to memorize these like vocabulary lists. Your brain will naturally absorb them when you hear them in full sentences. Now imagine you're in a real-life conversation where you need to explain a simple idea, but in a natural way. For example, someone asks you how your new job is going. Instead of giving a short answer like, "It's good," you can say something more descriptive. "It's going pretty well so far. I'm still getting used to things, but the team has been very supportive." Shadow that slowly. "It's going pretty well so far. I'm still getting used to things, but the team has been very supportive." Now let's practice expanding the idea even more. Some days feel a bit challenging because there's a lot to learn, but overall it's been a positive experience, and I feel like I'm improving every day. Repeat that with me slowly. These longer sentences help you sound more fluent and confident when speaking. Now let's move into a new type of daily situation, asking for clarification. Sometimes you hear something, but you're not completely sure what the person meant. Instead of saying, "What?" which sounds too strong, you can use softer expressions like, "Sorry, what did you say? Could you repeat that, please? I didn't quite catch that." Or, "Could you say that again a bit more slowly?" Let's place these expressions into a real conversation. Slow version. "Hey, the meeting has been moved to 2:30. Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. What time is the meeting?" "It's been moved to 2:30. "Oh, okay. Thanks for letting me know." Now, natural speed. "Hey, the meeting's been moved to 2:30. Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. What time is the meeting?" "It's been moved to 2:30. "Oh, okay. Thanks for letting me know." Now shadow the whole conversation slowly. This helps you develop natural listening responses. Now I want to take you into another common daily moment. Reacting to news. At the intermediate level, you should be able to Express reactions like surprise, sympathy, encouragement, support, or understanding. Let's practice some natural reactions inside full sentences. Imagine a friend tells you something surprising. You can say, "Wow, really? I wasn't expecting that." Or, "That's surprising. What happened next?" Now shadow that slowly. "Wow, really? I wasn't expecting that." Now imagine someone tells you something sad. You can say, "Oh no, I'm really sorry to hear that." Or, "That must have been really difficult for you." Or, "I can't imagine how stressful that must have felt." Shadow this slowly. "I'm really sorry to hear that." Now imagine someone tells you good news. You can say, "That's amazing. I'm so happy for you." Or, "Wow, that's great. Congratulations." Or, "That's wonderful news." Shadow it slowly, because expressing reactions fluently makes conversations feel alive and natural. Let's practice an entire conversation using emotional reactions. Slow version. "Guess what? I finally got the job." "No way, that's amazing. I'm so happy for you." "Thank you. I was so nervous waiting for the email." "I can imagine, but you totally deserved it." Now natural speed. "Guess what? I finally got the job." "No way, that's amazing. I'm so happy for you." "Thank you. I was so nervous waiting for the email." "I can imagine, but you totally deserved it." Shadow this slowly. Feel the excitement and emotion in the tone. Now let's shift to a moment where you need to talk about your responsibilities. This is very common in work, school, and daily life. Instead of short sentences like, "I have many tasks," you can say something like, "I have quite a few responsibilities to take care of this week, but I'm trying to stay organized so nothing becomes overwhelming." Shadow it slowly with me. Notice the words "take care of," "organized," "overwhelming." These are natural intermediate expressions. Now let's imagine you need to explain your routine. This is one of the most common topics in English conversation. Instead of a basic sentence like, "I wake up at 7, you can expand naturally. "My mornings are usually pretty simple. I wake up around 7, get ready, have a quick breakfast, and then head out. I like to listen to something in English while I'm on the way, because it helps me stay consistent with my practice." Shadow this slowly. "My mornings are usually pretty simple." Now add more detail. "In the afternoon, I'm usually at work or studying, and in the evenings, I try to take some time for myself. Sometimes I watch something in English or practice speaking for a few minutes." Daily routine paragraphs like, "These help you feel more fluent." Now we'll move into a deeper daily life skill, asking for opinions and giving opinions naturally. Imagine a friend asks you what you think about something, like a new idea. A natural question might be, "What do you think about it?" Or, "How do you feel about this plan?" Or, "Do you think this is a good idea?" Now shadow these slowly. Now imagine giving your opinion. Instead of simply saying, "It's good," you can say, "I think it's a pretty good idea. It makes sense, and it could be really helpful." Or, "I'm not completely sure yet, but it sounds interesting." Or, "From my perspective, it seems like something worth trying." Shadow each one slowly. Opinions are a very important part of intermediate English. Let's practice a natural conversation about opinions. Slow version. "What do you think about this new project idea?" I think it's pretty interesting. It might take some time, but it could be really useful. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, but I wasn't sure if everyone would agree. I guess we'll have to see how it goes, but it sounds good so far. Now, natural speed. What do you think about this new project idea? I think it's pretty interesting. It might take some time, but it could be really useful. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, but I wasn't sure if everyone would agree. I guess we'll have to see how it goes, but it sounds good so far. Shadow this slowly. Imagine a real conversation happening. Now let's practice talking about preferences. Instead of simply saying I like, you can say I prefer. I usually go for. I tend to. I'm more of a. Let's practice these inside a paragraph. I usually prefer staying at home on weekends. I'm more of a quiet person, so I enjoy relaxing, reading, or watching something. But sometimes I also like going out for a walk or meeting a friend if the weather is nice. Shadow this slowly. This is natural English used every day. Let's practice daily listening now. Imagine you are at a cafe and you overhear two people discussing their plans. Slow version. Are you going anywhere this holiday? I'm thinking of visiting my sister. She lives about 3 hours away. That sounds relaxing. How long are you staying? Maybe a few days. I just need a bit of a break. Now, natural speed. Are you going anywhere this holiday? I'm thinking of visiting my sister. She lives about 3 hours away. That sounds relaxing. How long are you staying? Maybe a few days. I just need a bit of a break. Now shadow the entire conversation slowly. Overheard conversations help you train your listening without pressure. Now let's practice a moment when something unexpected happens. Maybe your friend cancels plans or something changes. Here's a natural way to express that. Something came up, so I might not be able to make it tonight. I'm really sorry. I'll let you know if anything changes. Shadow that slowly. Something came up is one of the most common expressions in daily life. Now imagine the response. No worries at all. These things happen. Just let me know when you're free. Shadow that too. This shows understanding and kindness in your conversations. As we continue, your confidence is growing. Your listening is becoming sharper. Your speaking is becoming clearer. And your ability to express real-life ideas is getting stronger. Now, we will deepen your fluency even more with advanced daily life expressions, longer dialogues, storytelling, and natural conversational flow that helps you think in English without translating. As your understanding of English grows, you start noticing that communication is not only about the words you choose, it's about how those words connect, how they flow from one idea to another, how they create meaning and emotion. At the intermediate level, one of the most powerful skills you can build is the ability to link your thoughts smoothly, just like native speakers do. And today, we're going to practice exactly that, through real conversations, longer storytelling, natural transitions, and daily life expressions that make your English sound connected instead of disconnected. Let's begin by imagining you're in a place where people around you are having small conversations. Maybe a cafe with soft background noise. Maybe a bus filled with people talking quietly. Or maybe even a park where someone nearby is on a phone call. These natural environments help your brain get used to processing English in the real world. I'll read a small conversation that you might overhear, first slowly, then naturally. Slow version. Did you end up finishing that assignment? Not yet. I'm planning to work on it later tonight. You always say that. Don't leave it until the last minute. I know, but I've been so tired lately. Now natural speed. Did you end up finishing that assignment? Not yet. I'm planning to work on it later tonight. You always say that. Don't leave it until the last minute. I know, but I've been so tired lately. Shadow this slowly. Feel how casual and natural these expressions are. Did you end up? Is extremely common in English and helps you sound fluent. Don't leave it until the last minute is another natural daily life phrase. Now let's expand into a deeper daily life conversation. Imagine two friends catching up after not seeing each other for a while. Slow version. It feels like forever since we last met. I know, life's been a bit crazy these days. Tell me about it. How have you been holding up? Honestly, just trying to stay positive. There's been a lot going on. I get that, but you're doing great. Sometimes we all just need a break. Now natural speed. It feels like forever since we last met. I know, life's been a bit crazy these days. Tell me about it. How have you been holding up? Honestly, just trying to stay positive. There's been a lot going on. I get that, but you're doing great. Sometimes we all just need a break. Now shadow it slowly. Listen to the tone, the emotion, the warmth. These conversations help you understand not just English, but connection, empathy, natural flow. Now imagine someone asks you about your week. Instead of giving a simple answer, you want to create a natural, detailed response. Something like, "This week has been a bit unpredictable. Some days were really productive, and other days felt a little overwhelming. But overall, I think I managed things pretty well." Shadow that slowly. This week has been a bit unpredictable. Now imagine you want to ask someone about their week. Instead of saying, "How was your week?" you can ask, "How has your week been treating you?" This expression is extremely natural and widely used. Say it slowly with me. How has your week been treating you? Now let's move into an important skill, narrating a small story from your daily life. Storytelling is one of the best ways to improve fluency because it helps you practice sequencing, emotion, vocabulary, and natural flow. I'll share a simple story that you can shadow. Yesterday was one of those days when nothing seemed to go as planned. I woke up late because my alarm didn't ring. Then, on my way out, I realized I had forgotten my keys inside the house, so I had to call someone to help me get in, and by the time everything was sorted out, I was already running behind schedule. But eventually, the day got better. I managed to finish what I needed to do, and I ended the evening with a warm cup of tea, feeling much more relaxed. Shadow this story slowly. Feel how natural the transitions are. One of those days. Nothing seemed to go as planned. By the time everything was sorted out, eventually the day got better. These connecting phrases are essential for fluent English. Now imagine someone is telling you a story, and you want to respond naturally. Here are expressions you can shadow. Oh, wow. That sounds stressful. I can totally imagine how that felt. but I'm glad everything worked out in the end. These responses make your conversations deeper, kinder, more human. Now let's practice a longer real-life scenario, solving a small problem. Imagine you're at work, and something unexpected happens. Here's a natural dialogue. Slow version. I think there's an issue with the system. It's not letting me log in. That's strange. Have you tried restarting your computer? Yay, twice already, but nothing seems to work. All right, let me check with IT. Maybe there's a temporary outage. That would explain it. Thanks for checking. Now natural speed. I think there's an issue with the system. It's not letting me log in. That's strange. Have you tried restarting your computer? Yeah, twice already, but nothing seems to work. All right, let me check with IT. Maybe there's a temporary outage. That would explain it. Thanks for checking. Now shadow it slowly. Imagine you're in this situation at work. Imagine responding calmly and naturally. Now let's shift into a beautiful part of Intermediate English, expressing possibilities. You can use expressions like, it might, it could, there's a chance that, maybe it will. Let's place them inside a natural paragraph. I'm not completely sure what I'll be doing this weekend. I might visit a friend, or I might just stay home and relax. It depends on how tired I feel by the end of the week, but there's a chance I'll go out if the weather is nice. Now let's practice a more detailed paragraph using possibility and planning. I could try finishing my work tonight if I focus, but I might need more time. It really depends on how quickly I can get through the last few parts. If not tonight, then I'll finish everything tomorrow morning. I just want to make sure I do it properly. Now let's practice another daily life moment, giving updates. Imagine someone asks you about an ongoing task, project, or situation. Instead of saying, it's fine, you can say, it's coming along slowly, but I'm making progress. I'm still working on it, but it's getting better. I've finished most of it, but there are a few details left. Now shadow this paragraph using those expressions. The project is coming along slowly, but I'm definitely making progress. I've finished most of the main parts, and now I'm just working on a few details. It's taking a bit longer than I expected, but I'm getting there. Now imagine the response. That sounds good. Just keep going. You're almost done. Shadow that slowly. Now let's practice another listening exercise. I will create a casual conversation between two friends discussing their plans after work. Slow version. What are you doing after work today? I'm not sure yet. I might go for a walk. I need some fresh air. That sounds nice. I wish I could go, but I have a lot to finish tonight. Yeah, I know the feeling. Maybe tomorrow then. Yeah, maybe tomorrow. Let's see how things go. Now natural speed. What are you doing after work today? I'm not sure yet. I might go for a walk. I need some fresh air. That sounds nice. I wish I could go, but I have a lot to finish tonight. Yeah, I know the feeling. Maybe tomorrow then. Yeah, maybe tomorrow. Let's see how things go. Now shadow the entire conversation slowly. This is the kind of English that happens every single day. Now imagine you are the one initiating the conversation. Practice this naturally. Hey, do you have any plans after work? I might go for a walk. I have a lot to finish. Maybe tomorrow? Feel how smooth it becomes. Now, I want you to practice a new skill, expressing uncertainty. In real conversations, you don't always know the answer, and that's okay. Here are natural expressions you can use. I'm not completely sure. I'm not certain, but I think. It could be. Maybe, but I'm not confident. I'm guessing. Now shadow these slowly inside a natural paragraph. I'm not completely sure what time the store closes, but I think it might be around 8. I'm guessing we still have time, but we should check just in case. Now let's practice another daily life scenario, making small talk. Small talk is what people use to start a conversation. It might feel simple, but it's very important for fluency. Here's a natural example. Slow version. Nice weather today, isn't it? Yeah, it feels really good. Not too hot, not too cold. I hope it stays like this for the weekend. Same here. It would be perfect for going out. Now natural speed. Nice weather today, isn't it? Yeah, it feels really good. Not too hot, not too cold. I hope it stays like this for the weekend. Same here. It would be perfect for going out. Shadow this slowly. Small talk is a key part of daily English. Now, we're going to go even deeper into natural conversations, storytelling, describing experiences, handling problems, expressing emotions, and building the kind of English that flows naturally when you speak. As we move deeper into this masterclass, I want you to focus on something incredibly important for intermediate English learners: the natural flow of conversations. When you speak in real life, conversations don't happen in perfect grammar. They happen through pauses, reactions, feelings, small corrections, small mistakes, and natural expressions that connect your thoughts. And learning this natural rhythm is what takes your English from correct to confident. Let's start by imagining you're sitting with someone you know, maybe a friend, a coworker, a classmate, and you're just catching up about life. This type of conversation happens everywhere, and being able to participate comfortably makes your English feel real and alive. So let's practice a natural catch-up conversation. Slow version. How have you been lately? I've been all right. Just a bit tired, to be honest. There's been a lot going on. I get that. Life's been pretty busy on my end, too. Yeah. I feel like time is moving so fast these days. Tell me about it. Sometimes I don't even realize the week has passed. Now natural speed. How have you been lately? I've been all right. Just a bit tired, to be honest. There's been a lot going on. I get that. Life's been pretty busy on my end, too. Yeah, I feel like time is moving so fast these days. Tell me about it. Sometimes I don't even realize the week has passed. Now shadow it slowly. Imagine you are really in this conversation. Imagine your voice responding calmly, naturally, without overthinking. This is what real fluency feels like. Now let's practice something you will use frequently, expressing opinions politely, especially when someone asks what you think about a situation. Here is a natural example. I personally think it's a good idea, but maybe we should take a closer look before making a final decision, just to make sure we're not missing anything. Shadow this slowly. I personally think it's a good idea. Maybe we should take a closer look. Now imagine you're unsure about something. You can express uncertainty naturally with phrases like, I'm not completely convinced yet. I'm still thinking about it. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Let's practice them inside a paragraph. I'm still thinking about it. I'm not completely convinced yet. Something about it doesn't feel right, but I can't exactly explain why. Maybe I just need more time to understand everything. Shadow this slowly. This is how native speakers express uncertainty every day. Now imagine someone asks you for advice. Here's a natural and supportive way to give it. If I were you, I'd take a little time to think everything through. Making decisions when you're stressed can be tough, so it might help to step back, relax, and look at things from another angle. Repeat it slowly. This type of expression shows emotional intelligence in English. Let's move into longer, real-life conversations now. These help you understand how English works in full context. Here is a conversation about making weekend plans. Slow version. Do you have any plans for the weekend? Not really. I was thinking of maybe going to the mall or just relaxing at home. That sounds nice. I'm going hiking with a couple of friends. Oh, that sounds fun. Where are you going? There's a trail about 30 minutes away. It's really peaceful. Maybe I should try hiking sometime. I've never done it before. You should. It's refreshing, especially after a long week. Now, natural speed. Do you have any plans for the weekend? Not really. I was thinking of maybe going to the mall or just relaxing at home. That sounds nice. I'm going hiking with a couple of friends. Oh, that sounds fun. Where are you going? There's a trail about 30 minutes away. It's really peaceful. Maybe I should try hiking sometime. I've never done it before. You should. It's refreshing, especially after a long week. Now shadow the full conversation slowly. Each line helps your brain connect English naturally. Now let's go deeper into storytelling. Being able to describe an experience smoothly is one of the biggest signs of upper intermediate fluency. Let's practice a story you can shadow. Last week, something funny happened to me. I was rushing to get to a meeting, and I thought I had everything I needed. But halfway there, I realized I had grabbed the wrong folder, so I had to run back home and pick up the right one. And by the time I got to the meeting, I was completely out of breath. But thankfully, everyone was running late too, so it worked out fine in the end. And now, I triple-check everything before leaving the house. Shadow it slowly. Notice how natural connectors like but, and, so, thankfully, and in the end, make the story smooth. Now imagine responding to someone else's story. You can use expressions like, "No way? Really? That's hilarious. I can imagine how that felt. At least everything worked out." Shadow these slowly. They help your conversations sound natural and friendly. Let's practice another daily life moment, explaining a mistake or a small problem. At the intermediate level, you want to do this naturally and calmly. Here's a paragraph for you to shadow. I made a small mistake earlier. I misunderstood the instructions, so I ended up doing the wrong thing. But once I realized what happened, I corrected it. Thankfully, it wasn't a big issue, but it reminded me to slow down and double-check things. Repeat it slowly now. This type of expression is very useful in work and school situations. Now, imagine someone responds with understanding. Don't worry about it. It happens to everyone. The important thing is that you fixed it. Shadow this slowly. These supportive expressions make conversations smoother and kinder. Now let's practice describing your goals. At the intermediate level, expressing goals helps you sound motivated and confident. Here's a natural example. I've been trying to be more consistent with my English practice. My goal is to reach a point where I can speak without stopping to translate in my head, and I know that by practicing daily conversations and listening more, I'll definitely get there. Shadow this slowly. This is the kind of English that expresses determination. Now imagine someone asks you about your progress. You can answer naturally like this. I feel like I've improved a lot, especially in listening. I can understand conversations more easily now, and I'm slowly getting better at speaking more naturally too. Now shadow that slowly. Let's practice another listening exercise. This time, imagine two coworkers talking about a problem at work. Slow version. I think we might need to change our plan. Why? What happened? The client wants something completely different now. Oh, that complicates things. What are we going to do? I guess we'll have to start over, but we can still use some of the old ideas. That makes sense. Let's not panic. We'll figure it out. Now natural speed. I think we might need to change our plan. Why? What happened? The client wants something completely different now. Oh, that complicates things. What are we going to do? I guess we'll have to start over, but we can still use some of the old ideas. That makes sense. Let's not panic. We'll figure it out. Now shadow the entire conversation slowly. Notice how real conversations include small emotions like stress, surprise, calmness, and understanding. Now let's practice something many learners struggle with, expressing habits and tendencies. Here are natural expressions you can shadow. I tend to stay up late on weekends. I usually end up eating something quick. I often find myself procrastinating when I'm tired. I sometimes forget what I was about to say. Now let's place them in a paragraph for natural practice. I tend to stay up late on weekends, even though I know I should sleep earlier. And then I usually end up waking up late the next day. I often find myself wasting time on my phone before bed, and sometimes I even forget what I was about to do. Shadow it slowly. Now let's practice a moment where you need to describe something unusual that happened. Here's a natural example. Something strange happened today. I was walking to the store, and out of nowhere, it started raining heavily. Even though the sky looked completely clear just a few minutes earlier, I had to run and find shelter because I didn't have an umbrella. It was chaotic, but kind of funny at the same time. Now shadow it. Notice the natural flow of emotion and detail. Now imagine someone responding to your story. Wow, that must have been unexpected. The weather has been really unpredictable lately. Shadow that slowly. Let's continue with more advanced daily life expressions. One of the most useful skills is describing your environment or surroundings. Here's a natural example. The cafe I went to this morning was surprisingly quiet. The lighting was soft. The atmosphere felt warm, and the smell of fresh coffee made everything feel calm. It was a nice place to start the day. Shadow it slowly. Description adds richness to your English. Now practice describing a sound or a feeling. The room felt peaceful, almost too quiet, as if everyone was lost in their own thoughts. And the soft music in the background made the atmosphere even more relaxing. Shadow it. Now, we will continue expanding your fluency with deeper storytelling, natural arguments, disagreements, apologies, deeper emotional expressions, and longer conversations that help you speak and think in English effortlessly. As you continue through this masterclass, your English is becoming more natural, more comfortable, and more expressive. And now, it's time to expand your abilities even further by practicing deeper, more meaningful conversations that include emotions, opinions, disagreements, apologies, storytelling, and the kind of connection people build when they share their real thoughts. At the intermediate level, this is exactly where your fluency begins to shine, not just in simple sentences, but in longer, flowing thoughts that reflect your personality and your way of speaking. Let's begin by imagining a calm conversation between two people who are reflecting on their week. This kind of talk happens at dinner tables, during walks, after work, or even through messages. Here is a natural example you can shadow. Slow version. This week felt really long. Same here. I don't know why, but everything felt a bit heavier than usual. Maybe it's because we've been working nonstop. Probably. I feel like I need a break. Yeah, just a little time to reset and recharge. Now natural speed. This week felt really long. Same here. I don't know why, but everything felt a bit heavier than usual. Maybe it's because we've been working nonstop. Probably. I feel like I need a break. Yeah, just a little time to reset and recharge. Now, shadow it slowly. Imagine you're part of this conversation. Imagine yourself responding honestly and naturally. The expressions reset, recharge, heavier than usual, non-stop, and same here are all extremely common and useful. Now let's practice expressing empathy, a key skill at the B1B2 level. When someone shares something personal or difficult, you need natural ways to respond. Here's a paragraph you can shadow. I'm really sorry you're going through that. It sounds exhausting, and I can imagine how overwhelming it must feel. But please remember, you're not alone, and it's okay to take a break when things get too heavy. Shadow it slowly. Notice how soft and supportive the language is. This is how people connect emotionally in English. Now imagine someone shares good news with you. Your response should also feel natural and enthusiastic. Here's another paragraph for shadowing. That's amazing. I'm genuinely so happy for you. You've worked really hard, and you deserve every bit of this success. I hope it brings you even more opportunities ahead. Shadow it slowly. The words genuinely, deserve, opportunities, and success help your English sound warm and advanced. Now let's move into another important aspect of conversations: disagreement. At the intermediate level, you need to disagree politely, without sounding rude. Here are natural expressions you can shadow. Inside a paragraph. I see what you mean, but I'm not sure I completely agree. From my perspective, things look a bit different. Maybe we're just looking at it in different ways. Shadow it slowly. I see what you mean is extremely useful for soft disagreement. Now imagine someone disagrees with you, and you want to respond in a respectful way. Here's a natural example. That's okay. We don't have to agree on everything. Different opinions help us understand things better, and I appreciate hearing your point of view. Shadow it slowly. This helps build confidence in real-life discussions. Now, let's practice a full disagreement conversation. Slow version. I think we should finish the project today. I'm not sure that's realistic. We still have a lot left to do. But if we push ourselves, we might get it done. I get what you're saying, but rushing might make things messy. Yeah, maybe you're right. We should take our time. Now, natural speed. I think we should finish the project today. I'm not sure that's realistic. We still have a lot left to do. But if we push ourselves, we might get it done. I get what you're saying, but rushing might make things messy. Yeah, maybe you're right. We should take our time. Now shadow this slowly. These kinds of conversations happen constantly in workplaces and group settings. Now let's practice apologies. Another important part of daily communication. Here is a natural way to apologize. I'm really sorry about earlier. I didn't mean to sound rude. I was just stressed, and it came out the wrong way. I hope you can understand. Shadow it slowly. Now imagine someone apologizes to you. Here's a natural response. It's all right. Don't worry about it. I understand things can get stressful sometimes. We're good. Shadow that slowly. This is the kind of warm, forgiving English people use in daily interactions. Now, let's practice explaining a situation, a skill you need in school, work, and social situations. Here is a natural example. So here's what happened. I was on my way to meet you, but there was a sudden traffic jam, and then my phone battery died, so I couldn't message you. By the time I reached, you had already left. I felt really bad about it. Shadow it slowly. Notice the natural connectors. So here's what happened. And then, by the time, I felt really bad. Now let's imagine someone reacting supportively. Oh, that makes sense. Don't worry about it. Things like that happen. Maybe next time we can plan a little earlier. Shadow this slowly. Now let's move into a deeper storytelling exercise. Something longer that trains your fluency. I remember a day when everything seemed completely unpredictable. I woke up feeling calm, thinking it would be just a regular day. But as soon as I stepped outside, things started going in different directions. The bus I usually take was delayed, so I had to wait much longer, and the weather suddenly changed from sunny to cloudy. Then, when I finally reached work, I found out that an important meeting had been moved earlier, and I had to rush to prepare everything. But despite all the chaos, the day turned into something positive. Everyone understood the situation, and the meeting went better than expected. When I finally got home, I felt exhausted, but proud of getting through the day. Shadow this story slowly. This type of long, detailed description is exactly what B1B2 learners need to build real fluency. Now let's practice another important daily life skill, expressing gratitude. Instead of simply saying thanks, you can say, I really appreciate your help. Thank you so much. It means a lot. I'm grateful for your support. I can't tell you how much I appreciate this. Now shadow this paragraph with those expressions. Thank you so much for helping me earlier. I really appreciate it. Things would have been much harder without your support, and I'm honestly grateful that you were there. Repeat it slowly. Now let's practice describing your thoughts. Another key intermediate skill. Here's a natural example. I've been thinking a lot about how I can improve my English, and I've realized that speaking regularly makes the biggest difference. Even if it's just 5 or 10 minutes a day, it helps me stay connected to the language, and little by little, I feel myself becoming more confident. Shadow it slowly. Now imagine someone asks, "What motivates you?" Here's a natural answer. What motivates me the most is the feeling of progress. Even small improvements make me feel proud, and knowing that I'm getting closer to fluency keeps me going. Shadow this slowly too. Now let's practice another listening conversation. This one is about making a decision. Slow version. Have you decided what you're going to do? Not yet. I'm still thinking about it. What's stopping you? I guess I'm just afraid of making the wrong choice. I get that, but sometimes you just have to try. Now, natural speed. Have you decided what you're going to do? Not yet. I'm still thinking about it. What's stopping you? I guess I'm just afraid of making the wrong choice. I get that, but sometimes you just have to try. Now shadow it slowly. These types of conversations help you think and respond naturally in English. Now let's practice describing something you learned, another useful daily skill. One thing I learned recently is that taking small steps consistently makes a huge difference. Sometimes we think we need to do big things to make progress, but actually, doing something small every day creates real change. Shadow it slowly. Now imagine someone responds. That's so true. Small habits really do add up over time. Shadow that. Now we'll practice describing a place again, but this time with more emotional connection. Here is a paragraph for shadowing. There's a little park near my house. It's not very big, but it's one of my favorite places. In the morning, the sunlight feels soft, and the trees look peaceful. People walk their dogs, kids play quietly, and everything feels calm. Whenever I need a break, I go there to breathe and clear my mind. Shadow this slowly. This is the kind of English that paints a picture. Now, we'll continue strengthening your fluency with deeper emotional vocabulary, natural expressions, complex sentence flow, and long conversations that help you think directly in English. As we move forward in this masterclass, I want you to imagine your English becoming more flexible, more adaptable, and more expressive. You are no longer just understanding individual words or simple sentences. You are now understanding ideas, emotions, opinions, and experiences in a deeper way. And this part of the lesson will help you strengthen those skills even more through detailed storytelling, advanced daily life expressions, deeper emotional conversations, and natural communication patterns that English speakers use without even thinking about them. Let's begin by practicing something you do every single day. Talking about how you're feeling, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. At the intermediate level, it's important to express feelings with nuance, not just "I'm happy" or "I'm sad." Let's practice a natural paragraph you can shadow. Today, I'm feeling a mix of things. I'm a little tired, but at the same time, I feel productive. My mind is active, and I'm trying to stay focused. But there's also a part of me that wants to slow down and take things easy. It's one of those days where my emotions are shifting, and I'm just trying to understand them. Shadow this slowly. This helps you express deeper emotional states. Now imagine someone asks how you've been feeling lately. Here's a natural response. I've been feeling better recently. Things feel more stable. And I'm slowly finding a good balance between work, rest, and personal time. I still have stressful moments, but overall, I'm handling things in a calmer way. Shadow that slowly too. Now imagine someone responds to you in a supportive way. I'm really glad to hear that. Finding balance can be difficult sometimes, but it sounds like you're taking good care of yourself. Shadow that as well. Let's move into another important topic. Describing people's personalities. At the B1B2 level, you need more than simple words like kind, funny, or serious. Here's a more natural paragraph to practice. She's the kind of person who makes you feel comfortable the moment you start talking to her. She listens carefully, she's thoughtful, and she always tries to understand your perspective. Being around her feels peaceful, like you can be yourself without any pressure. Shadow this slowly. It helps you describe someone in a warm and natural way. Now let's practice describing someone who is energetic and motivated. He's incredibly driven once he sets his mind on something. He doesn't stop until he achieves it. He's always full of ideas, always planning something new, and always encouraging others around him. Shadow that slowly. This is great for speaking about coworkers, friends, or classmates. Now imagine describing a person who is calm and quiet. She's very soft-spoken, not the kind of person who talks a lot, but when she does speak, her words feel thoughtful and meaningful. She has a calming presence that makes everyone around her feel at ease. Shadow that slowly. Now let's practice speaking about small but meaningful moments, an essential skill at the intermediate level. Here's a paragraph for you. Sometimes the smallest moments bring the most comfort, like sitting by the window on a quiet evening, or enjoying a warm drink after a long day, or hearing someone laugh genuinely, or getting a message from a friend at just the right time. These little things remind you that life can be gentle, even on difficult days. Shadow it slowly. Feel the emotion and softness in the language. Now let's return to realistic conversations. Here's a conversation about solving a misunderstanding. Slow version. I think there might have been a misunderstanding earlier. Oh, really? What happened? When I said I couldn't join you, I meant I had work to finish, not that I didn't want to come. Oh, I see. I must have taken it the wrong way. It's okay. It happens. I just wanted to clear things up. Thanks for explaining. We're good. Now, natural speed. I think there might have been a misunderstanding earlier. Oh, really? What happened? When I said I couldn't join you, I meant I had work to finish, not that I didn't want to come. Oh, I see. I must have taken it the wrong way. It's okay. It happens. I just wanted to clear things up. Thanks for explaining. We're good. Now shadow the whole dialogue slowly. This is the kind of English you need when communicating with friends or coworkers. Now let's practice responding to someone who is feeling confused. Here's a paragraph for shadowing. I understand why you're confused. It can be a lot to take in at once. But don't worry. We can go through it step by step. And if something still doesn't make sense, I'm here to help. Shadow it slowly. This helps you communicate empathy and clarity at the same time. Now imagine someone apologizes to you. Your response could sound like this. It's all right. really. We all make mistakes sometimes. What matters is that we understand each other now. So let's move forward. Repeat it slowly. Now let's practice a more complex emotional situation, expressing disappointment without sounding harsh. I'm not angry. I'm just a little disappointed. I was really looking forward to spending time together, but I understand that things happen. Maybe we can plan something for another day. Shadow it slowly. This helps you express feelings maturely and naturally. Now imagine someone responds gently. I'm really sorry about that. I didn't mean to disappoint you. I'll make it up to you. Let's definitely plan something soon. Shadow that slowly. Now let's practice something incredibly important, expressing your thoughts in a reflective way. Here's a paragraph for shadowing. Lately I've been thinking a lot about how quickly life moves. One moment you're busy worrying about something, and the next moment everything changes. And sometimes it's only when you look back that you realize how much you've grown, how much you've learned, and how strong you've become without even noticing. Shadow this slowly. These kinds of reflections help develop your emotional and conversational fluency. Now let's imagine you're talking to someone who needs encouragement. Here's a natural way to express that. You've been doing really well, even if it doesn't always feel like it. Progress isn't always obvious at first, but the fact that you're trying, learning, and improving every day shows how strong you are. Keep going. You're getting better than you think. Shadow this slowly. Encouragement like this is incredibly valuable in real conversations. Now let's practice a longer everyday conversation, something deeper that people often talk about, being stressed and finding balance. Slow version. I've been feeling overwhelmed lately. What's been going on? Just a lot of work, and I feel like I haven't had time for myself. I know the feeling. It's really important to take breaks. Yeah, I think I just need to slow down a little. That sounds like a good idea. Even a short break can make a big difference. Now natural speed. I've been feeling overwhelmed lately. What's been going on? Just a lot of work, and I feel like I haven't had time for myself. I know the feeling. It's really important to take breaks. Yeah, I think I just need to slow down a little. That sounds like a good idea. Even a short break can make a big difference. Now shadow the entire dialogue slowly. Picture the situation clearly as you speak. Now let's practice expressing gratitude on a deeper level. I really appreciate everything you've done for me, even the little things. Sometimes they matter more than people realize, and I just want you to know how grateful I am. Shadow this slowly. Now let's practice speaking about lessons learned in life. Here's a natural paragraph. One thing I've learned is that things don't always go the way you expect. But that doesn't mean things won't work out. Sometimes the path simply changes. And when it does, you learn new things about yourself. And in the end, those unexpected turns lead you somewhere meaningful. Shadow it slowly. Now let's practice a conversation about plans and dreams, something deeper than simple scheduling. Slow version. Have you ever thought about what you really want to do in the future? Yeah, sometimes. I'm not completely sure yet, but I have some ideas. Like what? Well, I want to do something that makes me feel fulfilled, something meaningful. That sounds wonderful. I think you'll find your path. Now, natural speed. Have you ever thought about what you really want to do in the future? Yeah, sometimes. I'm not completely sure yet, but I have some ideas. Like what? Well, I want to do something that makes me feel fulfilled, something meaningful. That sounds wonderful. I think you'll find your path. Now shadow it slowly. Conversations like this help you build deeper communication skills. Now, we will explore more real-life dialogues, advanced expressions, longer storytelling, natural problem-solving conversations, and everyday fluency-building situations that help you think directly in English and speak confidently. As we continue through this masterclass, your English is growing stronger, more expressive, and more natural with every paragraph. Now, you're no longer just speaking in simple sentences. You are building real conversations, expressing emotions, telling stories, sharing opinions, and communicating with clarity and confidence. And in this part of the lesson, we're going to go deeper into the daily life experiences that help you think, feel, and speak in English without hesitation. Let's begin by imagining a moment in your day when you need to express relief. Maybe something stressful has ended, or something finally went right after being uncertain for a long time. Here is a natural paragraph you can shadow. I'm so relieved everything worked out in the end. I was honestly worried for a moment, but things turned out better than I expected. Sometimes we stress ourselves more than we need to, and when things finally fall into place, it feels like a weight has been lifted off our shoulders. Shadow this slowly. Feel the rise and fall of the emotional tone. Now imagine you're talking to someone who has just finished something difficult. You want to respond supportively. You can say something like, "I'm really glad everything went well for you. You handled it so well. I know it must have been tough, but you stayed calm and did your best. And now you can finally relax." Repeat it slowly. Natural encouragement like this is a big part of real communication. Now let's move into expressing frustration politely. Sometimes things don't go the way we expect, but we still want to sound calm and mature. Here's a natural paragraph you can practice. I'm a little frustrated, to be honest. I was hoping things would go differently, but I guess not everything is in our control. I'm trying not to overthink it. I just need a bit of time to process everything. Shadow this slowly. These expressions help you communicate emotions with balance and clarity. Now imagine someone responds to your frustration. I understand. It's completely normal to feel that way. Just take your time. Things will become clearer soon. Shadow it as well. Now let's shift into another daily life moment. Giving updates about your life. This is something you'll do often with friends, coworkers, or family. Here's a natural paragraph. Things have been pretty steady lately. Nothing too exciting, but nothing too stressful either. I've just been focusing on my routine, trying to stay consistent, and doing a little bit every day. It's not dramatic, but it feels good, like I'm slowly building something meaningful. Shadow it slowly. Now imagine someone asks you about your long-term goals. Here's a natural way to answer. I'm not completely sure yet, but I know I want to grow, learn, and improve myself. I want to explore new opportunities, meet new people, and push myself out of my comfort zone. I don't have all the answers right now, but I'm excited to see where things lead. Now shadow this slowly. This kind of expression shows maturity and emotional depth. Now let's practice a realistic conversation about future hopes. Slow version. What are you hoping for this year? I just want some stability and maybe a little growth. Nothing too big. That sounds reasonable. Sometimes small goals are the most important. Yeah, I just want to focus on myself and become a better version of who I already am. I think that's a wonderful goal. Now natural speed. What are you hoping for this year? I just want some stability and maybe a little growth. Nothing too big. That sounds reasonable. Sometimes small goals are the most important. Yeah, I just want to focus on myself and become a better version of who I already am. I think that's a wonderful goal. Now shadow that entire conversation slowly. Feel how calm and reflective it is. This is natural intermediate English. Now let's practice something extremely important, describing routines and habits with more detail and fluency. My mornings usually start slowly. I like to take a few minutes to stretch, breathe, and clear my mind before I begin my day. Then I prepare breakfast, check my messages, and plan what I need to get done. I try not to rush, because starting the day calmly helps me stay focused. Shadow that slowly. Now let's describe an evening routine. In the evenings, I usually unwind by listening to something in English, watching a short video, or reading a few pages of a book. It helps me relax and shift my mind away from the stress of the day, and even if it's just 10 minutes, it makes a big difference in how I feel. Shadow this slowly. Now let's practice a workplace scenario, something that happens often. Slow version. I think we need to review this part again. Do you think something is missing? Not exactly, but I feel like we could make it clearer. Okay, let's go through it step by step. Great, that should help us fix it. Now, natural speed. I think we need to review this part again. Do you think something is missing? Not exactly, but I feel like we could make it clearer. Okay, let's go through it step by step. Great, that should help us fix it. Now shadow it slowly. These are daily expressions used constantly at work or school. Now imagine you're explaining why you need more time to complete something. Here's a natural example. I just need a little more time to finish everything. I want to make sure the quality is good, and I don't want to rush through it. I'm almost done, but I need a bit of space to finalize the details. Shadow this slowly. This helps you explain yourself clearly and professionally. Now imagine someone responding kindly. Take your time. It's better to do it properly than to rush and make mistakes. Shadow that too. Now let's practice polite requests, something every English learner needs. Here's a natural paragraph. Could you help me with something when I have a moment? I don't want to interrupt you, but I'm having a bit of trouble understanding this, and I'd really appreciate it if you could explain it briefly. Shadow this slowly. These gentle phrases are extremely common in daily English. Now, let's practice describing a personal challenge. I've been struggling a little with staying focused lately. My mind keeps jumping from one thing to another, and I feel like I'm not as organized as I want to be, but I'm trying my best to find better ways to manage my time. Shadow this slowly. This type of communication shows emotional honesty and fluency. Now imagine someone responds supportively. That sounds tough, but you're doing a great job by noticing it and working on it. You'll find your balance soon. Shadow this too. Now let's practice another detailed storytelling moment, something that builds your fluency in natural speech. The other day, I went out for a walk because I needed some fresh air. I wasn't planning to go far, but I ended up walking much longer than expected. The weather was perfect, and the streets were quiet. I listened to some calming English audio while walking, and it made me feel relaxed. By the time I returned home, I felt lighter, calmer, and more refreshed. Shadow this slowly. Stories like this help you connect ideas smoothly. Now let's practice describing an environment using sensory details: sight, sound, feeling. The room felt warm and cozy. There was soft music playing in the background, and the smell of fresh coffee made the atmosphere even more comforting. The lighting was gentle, not too bright, not too dim, and for a moment, everything felt peaceful. Shadow that slowly. This helps you build descriptive fluency. Now imagine the opposite, describing a chaotic environment. The place was crowded and noisy. People were talking loudly. Music was playing, and everything felt a bit overwhelming. I tried to stay calm, but the noise made it difficult to focus. All I wanted was a quiet space where I could think. Repeat it slowly. Now let's practice expressing excitement. I'm really excited about what's coming next. It feels like I'm entering a new chapter in my life. And even though I'm a bit nervous, I'm also hopeful. I'm ready to try new things and see where they take me. Shadow this slowly. Now imagine someone responds to your excitement. I'm so happy for you. You deserve good things, and I hope everything works out beautifully. Shadow that too. Now, we will practice with more advanced conversations, emotional storytelling, natural disagreements, deeper connection-building dialogues, and final fluency-building reflections. As we reach the end of this masterclass, I want you to imagine the progress you've made so far, from simple daily expressions to deeper conversations, from basic phrases to emotional storytelling, from simple answers to complex, thoughtful responses. Your English is no longer limited to short sentences. You are now expressing ideas, feelings, experiences, and perspectives with clarity and confidence. And this last part will help you bring everything together so that your English becomes both natural and meaningful in daily life. Let's begin by practicing one of the most powerful skills in real communication: expressing hope. Hope is something people talk about often, and being able to express it clearly helps you connect with others. Here is a natural paragraph to shadow. I really hope things get better from here, and I'm trying to stay positive. Some days are harder than others, but I believe things will eventually fall into place. All I can do is keep doing my best and trust that good things are on their way. Shadow this slowly. This is heartfelt, natural English. Now let's practice responding to someone else's hopes. Here's a warm and natural answer. I hope things get better for you too, and I truly believe they will. You've been strong through everything, and that strength will lead you to something brighter. Shadow this slowly. These expressions create emotional connection in conversation. Now imagine a conversation about life lessons, something people often talk about when reflecting. Slow version. I've learned that life can be unpredictable. Yeah, things can change so quickly. But sometimes change is exactly what we need. I agree. Even the difficult moments teach us something. That's true. I guess everything has a purpose. Now, natural speed. I've learned that life can be unpredictable. Yeah, things can change so quickly. But sometimes change is exactly what we need. I agree. Even the difficult moments teach us something. That's true. I guess everything has a purpose. Shadow the full conversation slowly. These reflective conversations happen everywhere, with friends, family, co-workers, even strangers you connect with. Now let's move into another important communication skill, expressing calm reasoning. When you want to give your opinion gently and thoughtfully. Here's a natural way to do it. I think the most important thing is to stay patient. Things don't always happen the way we want, but that doesn't mean they won't happen. Sometimes the journey takes longer than we expect, and that's okay. What matters is that we keep moving forward. Shadow this slowly. This style of speech is strong, gentle, and very natural in English. Now imagine responding to someone who is worried about the future. I know the future feels uncertain, but you're doing everything you can, and sometimes that's all we can do. Things will unfold in their own time, and you'll find your way, step by step. Repeat it slowly. These sentences show calm support and emotional maturity. Now let's practice a final storytelling moment that brings together all your fluency skills. Recently, I had a moment that reminded me how important it is to slow down. I was rushing from one place to another, trying to finish everything on my list. But then I stopped for a minute, looked around, and realized how beautiful the day was. The sky was soft and bright. The air felt gentle, and people around me were moving at their own pace. It made me realize that life isn't a race, it's a journey. And sometimes the best moments happen when we simply pause and breathe. Shadow this slowly. This type of storytelling helps you speak with depth and clarity. Now let's imagine a conversation that wraps up the emotions of a long day. Slow version. Today felt long, but oddly peaceful. Yeah, some days are like that. A little tiring, but still meaningful. I guess I needed a day like this. Something slow? Slow days can teach us a lot, more than we notice. That's true. I feel calmer now. Now natural speed. Today felt long, but oddly peaceful. Yeah, some days are like that. A little tiring, but still meaningful. I guess I needed a day like this. Something slow. Slow days can teach us a lot, more than we notice. That's true. I feel calmer now. Shadow this slowly. These simple but meaningful conversations help you become fully comfortable speaking English from the heart. Now let's practice expressing closure, ending a conversation naturally and politely. It was really nice talking to you. I feel lighter now. Thanks for listening. I appreciate it more than you know. Shadow this slowly. This is common in many social interactions. And here's another natural variation. I'm glad we talked. I feel so much better. Let's do this again soon. Repeat it slowly. These endings make your conversation sound complete and warm. Now let's bring everything together with a final reflection about your English journey. Shadow this slowly. You've been learning, growing, improving, and becoming more confident. Every new word you learn, every sentence you practice, every conversation you listen to, All of it is shaping you into a stronger English speaker. And even if the progress feels slow sometimes, it is happening. Little by little, day by day, you are becoming someone who can express thoughts clearly, understand naturally, and communicate with confidence. Now imagine someone responds with encouragement. Here's a natural paragraph. You should be proud of yourself. You've come such a long way, and the effort you're putting in will pay off. Keep going, keep learning, and keep believing in your abilities. Your English is getting stronger every single day. Shadow this slowly. Now let's end with a final, calm, fluent daily life conversation that feels complete and meaningful. Slow version. I think I'm finally starting to feel more confident with my English. That's great. I've noticed your progress. Really? That means a lot. You sound more natural, more comfortable. It's nice to hear. Thank you. I'll keep practicing. And you should. You're doing amazing. Now, natural speed. I think I'm finally starting to feel more confident with my English. That's great. I've noticed your progress. Really? That means a lot. You sound more natural, more comfortable. It's nice to hear. Thank you. I'll keep practicing. And you should. You're doing amazing. Shadow that slowly, letting every word settle naturally. Thanks so much for staying with me through this entire masterclass. I'm truly happy you spent this time learning, practicing, and growing your English with me. You've done an amazing job today, and I hope you feel proud of the progress you've made. Remember, fluency isn't something that happens overnight. It grows slowly, quietly, through moments like this, through practice, through listening, through speaking, and through believing in yourself a little more every day. If you enjoyed this lesson, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and join me again for more English learning sessions. I'm here every day to help you build your confidence, improve your skills, and become the fluent English speaker you want to be. Take good care of yourself. Keep practicing, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye for now.